What's up, guys? Welcome back to the next video. Today, I'm gonna be talking about the best ways to become the best of the best fighting. If you can be the best fighter in the game, I promise y'all, you will be god good. Like you will be the best player ever. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Guys, fighting fundamental number one is being a aggressive fighter. If you can be a aggressive fighter, you will be so good. I promise you guys, being a aggressive fighter is probably the best thing you can have in your arsenal of fighting skills. Because if you can be aggressive, you can end fights instantly. Like that kind of goes with peace control. Peace control and being aggressive kind of go with the same thing. If you have peace control and you are aggressive, you will be dropping high kill games every single game. I promise y'all that. And the best ways to improve being a aggressive fighter is, in my opinion, like these are just some creative maps that you can play that will get you better. And in my opinion, it is W tier 1v1s. Guys, like it works on your defensive fighting, it works on your aggressive fighting. Like it is probably the best map out right now for becoming a aggressive fighter. And guys, proof that being an aggressive fighter makes it so you're at the top of competitive Fortnite, proof that it does, is Pulverized. He just took like, I don't know, 12th in grand finals. Like he just pops off. He drops like 25 kill wins in ranked. He drops 40 bombs in solo victory cash cups. Like he is the best fighter in the game. Fighting fundamental number two is being defensive. If you can be an amazing defensive fighter, which most people already are, but you can outplay other players when they're being aggressive and take opportunities, you will be so much better than you are right now if you can learn how to take advantage of opportunities. And being a good defensive fighter is really coming down to one thing. It's being able to take the important opportunities you are given and getting damage on the opponent. If you can deal, let's say, 100 damage every single time your opponent makes a mistake, you will be able to end fights quickly. Not as quick as if you were being aggressive, because that means the other player can choose how long the fight goes on for. But just wait for people to make mistakes, and I promise you, you guys will get 10 times better. If you're let's say you get beamed for 60, instead of boxing up and playing like a baby, you're going to look for return damage. Or, let's say that he's just free ramping up to you. Instead of just sitting there and trying to pop minis, try to get some return damage so you can heal up for longer. That helps a lot to make a good defensive fighter and a good fighter in total. So that's defensive. That's fundamental number two. Fundamental number three for fighting is tempo switching. Knowing when to play aggressive, knowing to when not to play aggressive, and knowing when to play medium, like build fights, kind of. When you want, if you can master this skill, you will be such a advantage than some people. Because some people will get hit for 5 damage and start playing passive. Guys, if you're getting hit for 30 and less, then you should not be playing passive. You need to be still W king, still looking to end the fight fast. Because if you can end the fight fast, it is so much better than letting that player drag on the fight. Because if you let them drag on the fight, that makes it so there can be third parties and everything. So let's say let's say you're being aggressive and you get hit for 100. That's when you do a tempo switch. But you want to wait when you're playing, like I said, for defensive. You want to wait for the opponent to make an error. But if you can just switch when you're trying to be aggressive and when you're trying to not be aggressive, you will become such a better fighter. I can promise y'all that. That is fundamental number three. Fundamental number four is, if you want to become the best fighter possibly, you have to master mechanics. I'm not talking about speed. Speed is the biggest misconception medium skill players have. Editing fast is not having good mechanics. Having good mechanics is having consistent, precise edits while still having awareness on your opponent. That is the best way to have good mechanics. And if you have good mechanics like that, not fast mechanics, you will be so much better. I promise y'all that. If you can master your mechanics like that, and yes, you probably need pretty fast, You don't need really fast edits, but you need okay, decently fast edits to compete in a high level. But you're never gonna be busting out quad edits in the middle of a game. Like, if I'm being honest, that's just like what creative players do. And if you most of y'all, if you're watching this video, you do not want to be a creative player. Most of y'all probably want to be a pro. Like, if you're watching this, you probably want to have fighting skill in game. You want to make it to Unreal. You want to be the best possible fighter you can be. And if being honest, this is probably the best way you can do it. Instead of going into creative and trying to edit and do 600 quad edits in a row, next time you should probably just try and keep it smooth, keep good crosshair placement, and have awareness on what you're gonna do, not just random triple edits. That is how you can get 10 times better. Fighting fundamental number 5, guys. If you guys can learn how to peek correctly, you will be 10 times better. Cuz when I kill kids, 90% of the time it's because they make a really bad edit or a really bad peek. Like, if you listen to my videos, I like say don't make a bad edit. Everyone makes bad edits, guys. If you can learn how to peek correctly and get damage on good players that know you're going to make a bad edit, that think you're going to make a bad edit, and you actually make a good one and can get damage on them, that is that's the definition of good peaks. Cause like, if I'm being honest, most kids in ranked do not know how to peak at all. Like, they just walk up to your wall, and if they get it, they make a ginormous bottom row arch edit or something crazy, and you hit them for like, and you get hit for like 1,000,000, and then they hit their other kid they're fighting like 5 damage. Like, that kid right there makes a really bad edit, but he catches me off guard, so I get hit for a lot like that. If you guys can learn how to peek correctly, basically peeking is all about doing damage to the player when they're not doing damage back. If you can figure out if you can master peeking, you will be so good. I promise you guys that. If you can know what peeks to do, what edits to do, if you can know how to do everything correctly, you will be so much better fighter. Like, if you know not to do a peak that you do a lot and you can fix that, I promise you, you win so much more fights. That is fighting fundamental number 5. Fighting fundamental number 6. I cannot stress more about this fundamental. If you cannot do this, you cannot be a top tier player. I know all you guys want to make it to global championship at the end of the year, but if you do not have this one fighting fundamental, you will never make it. And it is game IQ. If you have, let's say that you have decent game IQ, you need to have the best of the best game IQ. The way you get game IQ is playing games against good players. So scrims, 1v1s against good players in creative or realistics. Like, just getting good fighting like, no. Woo, guys, I'm struggling today. Getting good at knowing what your opponent's going to do is the best possible thing you can do. Reading your opponent, knowing what edit they're going to do from like where they're looking, or where they're in their box, or like what rotate to make or what rotate not to make, it will make you such a better end game player. It will make you such a better fighter. It will make you such a better competitive player. And that is my number one, probably my number one fighting fundamental. Because if you can master that, you can master everything basically. Because if you have good fighting IQ, you know how to improve. You basically can master everything if you learn how to do that. So that is fundamental number 6. Guys, fighting fundamental number 7 is peace control. I can like not stress enough how many people have like have opportunities to full box me in fights, but they don't. Like, I'm not perfect, guys. No one's perfect. I make so many mistakes in one game. But people do not take advantage of the mistakes I make. Like, if you guys can get good piece control to the point that you can full box kids without taking damage, it's called protected piece control, you will be so incredibly good, and that is how you end fights fast. peace control goes with aggression. If you want to just be a brain dead fighter and be so good at fighting it's crazy, those are the two ones you need. But if you want to be a good fighter, you need all these fundamentals. So guys, that is fighting fundamental number 7. Oh, forgot to tell you all this. If you guys want to improve your peace control, I recommend so much Martaz's Martaz's Turtle Wars. That's how I got good peace control. It's really good. I also recommend Raider 464's mechanics training map. Has some good peace control tunnels, or Pulverizes map. Like there's so many maps out here, guys, that can get you good. Like I promise y'all, just if you put in the grind, if you put in the work, you guys can do this. Let's go. So thank you guys so much for watching. I cannot thank you guys enough. I hope you guys like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.